What's going on, guys? Jackson here from Vendetta Sports Media, and thanks for watching this episode of our 2022 NBA offseason guide for all of the NBA teams. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a new episode drops. Also, check the link down in the description below. There you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and also our TikTok. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. In this episode, we will be discussing the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks might be on the precipice of greatness. Luka Doncic continues to blossom as a superstar and helped lead the Mavs to a Western Conference Finals appearance. Alas, the Mavs fell to the Warriors in 5, and that series exposed a lot of what is wrong with this current Mavs roster. Can Dallas figure it out this offseason and potentially put a winner around Luka sooner rather than later? Let's take a look and find out. There is a lot to like and a lot to dislike about this roster. They have some good role players. The problem is that a lot of those role players are overpaid. $20 million for Tim Hardaway Jr. and $16 million for Davis Bertans just doesn't seem like the best way to spend the majority of that money. And the cap situation next season doesn't improve. Luka's massive $200 million extension and a nice size extension for Dorian Finney-Smith both kick in this offseason. With a lot of redundant players making similar money, there's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to signing free agents. That being said, a combination of some of these players and picks means the Mavs could make a splash trade this offseason. A mixture of Hardaway, Dinwiddie, Bertans, Powell, mixed with the first rounder or two could get a really good haul, depending on what the Mavs would be willing to give up. Both Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton should be the prime targets to add rebounding and rim protection to this roster. Gobert might be the most attractive of the two options, but would also more than likely be the most expensive of the two players. Now, that's not to say that Ayton would come cheap. That's just saying that he could be the cheaper of the two options and do just as good of a job as Gobert would working next to Luka. Some might even argue that Ayton should be the primary target over Gobert because Ayton might have a little bit more of an offensive upside than what Gobert has. But then again, with Rudy Gobert, you are getting a former defensive player of the year. So there's your give and take between those two guys. Another failure of this Mavs front office was not signing Jalen Brunson to an extension sooner. Brunson has developed into a solid scorer and NBA player this season. And with that comes a pay raise over what the Mavs could have gotten him for earlier this season. The Mavs should 100% re-sign him, and it would be the correct move to make. But the pocketbook of Mark Cuban will be hurting a little bit more than what it probably should have been if the front office could have had that foresight. If a splash trade is to happen for the Dallas Mavericks, more than likely it will be the wing depth that gets hit the most from said trade. If that is the case, a player like Kyle Anderson should be the next major target for the Mavs. He won't score a lot of points, but he has massive basketball IQ and always seems to make the right play at the right time and be in the right spot on the offensive and defensive side of the court. Plus, you could more than likely get him in the sub $10 million range, maybe even closer to the mid-level exception that the Mavericks could have. Jeff Green and Joe Ingles could be other alternative options if they can't pry Anderson away from Memphis or if Anderson just ends up going somewhere else. Green and Ingles may not have the high basketball IQ like Kyle Anderson has, but each of them bring their own unique talent to the table, be it the three-point shooting of Joe Ingles or the drivability of Jeff Green. Again, they could be suitable substitutions for adding wing depth. This is again assuming that a trade does happen and you have to move off of some of your wing players in that potential trade. Dallas also has the 26th pick in the 2022 NBA draft. The Mavs could find a good depth player at this spot, specifically at the wing position. Someone like a Kendall Brown out of Baylor could really gel well and instantly have an impact on this roster. Or maybe the Mavs could try their hand at a project like Patrick Walden Jr. out of Milwaukee. Or if said big trade that we keep talking about does happen, the 26th pick may be a casualty of the trade, and there's nothing here, and it's just used to get whatever said player is that you think is going to have an immediate impact on your team. Whether it be for a rookie to come off the bench or to go out and get another star to put beside Luka, the 26th pick could be vital in helping build a winning roster in Dallas. The 2022 offseason could be a crucial time for the Mavericks. The rest of the Western Conference is getting tougher every year, and one slip-up could lead to an unfavorable playoff matchup and early round exits. You know, the things that frustrate superstars that want to win titles. I fully believe an MVP is in Luka's future, and that he could very well win a championship in Dallas. But if the Mavericks front office whiffs on this offseason, they may very well find themselves once again sitting at home when June rolls around. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of our 2022 NBA Offseason Guide series. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever the next episode in our Offseason Guide series drops. This is Jackson Law from Vendetta Sports Media, signing off, and I will see you guys next time.